It's Saturday, March 13th, 2021. Wanted to make a video today and just share a couple articles I read earlier this afternoon. And, you know, the more you take the time and read and really dissect what is going on, the more prepared you're going to be for what is coming. I know that there's people out there every day just tell me that as long as I have cryptocurrencies, everything's going to be fine. Put my trust in the banks. Put my all my trust in the stock market. Everything is going up. There's nothing to worry about. I'm completely delusional. And that's fine. That's your opinion. I think that the people that say that are going to be the losers. They might be winning right now, and some of them might be making a lot of money right now. But I'm in this for the long haul. To me, what we're experiencing here is not a sprint, it's a marathon, and you have to prepare accordingly. A lot of people now just believe that you should make money overnight, that it's all about quick returns. And in real investing, at least from what I've read, investing is buying into something you believe in and holding on to it for the long haul. And today we have a society, an entitlement society, a society that likes to gamble, that wants quick satisfaction, wants returns now, overnight. And this is why so many of these cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin are so attractive to most Americans, because it's quick returns. It's not investing, it's pure speculation and gambling. Me, I'm in this again, as I said, for the long haul. This is a marathon, and I don't think that a cryptocurrency is going to prepare me for the consequences of a collapsing economy. It's not going to protect me during a depression. I mean, if you had cryptocurrencies last week or a couple weeks ago in Texas, you couldn't use them because the power was out. I just believe that right now there's never been a more important time to owning hard, tangible assets. And when I read articles like this by Michael Snyder, and it's titled "Brace Yourself for the Most Dramatic Shift in the Standard of Living in All of U.S. History." And that's a powerful title, but I really don't think that cryptocurrencies are going to save you. I don't think the stock market is going to save you. I don't think your trust in the system is going to save you. I believe you are going to have to save yourself. I'm going to paraphrase through this article. Very good article. Inflation is showing up and it's not going to go away. That is a fact. Every one of you knows that inflation is beginning to surge. Just go to the grocery store, go to the gas station, pay that health insurance, pay that rent, etc. It is popping up everywhere. Gas prices are up 39 cents from the same time in 2020, according to AAA. The price of agricultural commodities has shot up by 50% since the middle of 2020. Lumber prices have increased more than 180% since last spring. The average new single-family home has increased by $24,836 since April 17th of 2020. I mean, just think about the explosion in prices that we're seeing. Go into a Walmart, go into a Target, go into a Kohl's, go to the grocery store, go out to dinner, go out to lunch, and you're going to see the inflation. More Americans are falling out of the middle class with each passing day. 712,000 Americans filed new claims for unemployment benefits last week. The number of claims continues to hover around 4 times the typical pre-crisis level. And this is going to be much, much different than the last financial crisis that they papered over with trillions of dollars. This time it's global. This time there are multiple bubbles taking place. And this time we are seeing inflation beginning to run hot. This is not even going to be close to what we saw in 2008. To me, this is much more similar to the Great Depression. Although I think this is going to be much worse. I think it's going to be harder hitting. I think it's going to hit different sectors, different groups, and I believe it's going to quite possibly last even longer than the Great Depression. The deficits are so out of whack. None of this is sustainable. And when we see what is taking place with every fiat currency across the globe and the printing of debt, it is a race to the bottom. It's going to end very, very badly for most of the world. There are 10 million fewer jobs than there were last year in February, before the crisis even began. The U.S. economy is broken, ladies and gentlemen. The solution, according to our politicians, is to pump another $1.9 trillion of stimulus into the system. Now ask yourself, and please comment down below, this latest quantitative easing of $1.9 trillion, is this going to be good for inflation? Will this make inflation better, or will it make it worse? Me personally, I believe that this is going to increase inflation in America. Please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. If the average American income does not rise as fast as prices go up, your standard of living goes down. It's common sense. I mean, all we have to do is connect a few dots here, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to see where this is all going. If people are spending more and their paychecks are not increasing, if they're not getting bigger, their standard of living goes down. And if you're lower middle class, now you're poor. If you're poor, now you're into severe poverty. So everybody's standard of living, except for the top 1%, everybody's standard of living is beginning to change. And I believe that we're going to see this expedited as soon as we see a few events take place that could trigger some of these bubbles to burst. The vast majority of Americans are about to experience a dramatic shift in their standard of living, according to Michael Snyder. And most of the population doesn't even realize what is happening right now. And I couldn't agree more. So while we are watching millions of people lose their jobs as their standard of living right now is decreasing, people going broke just to try and stay in the middle class, they don't even realize what is going on. They don't even see the wealth transfer. People have been so conditioned, and many people are going to lose everything. All they know is that more government checks are on the way, and most of them are thrilled about that. This is really an incredible time in history. It's unbelievable how many people have been just duped and dumbed down. They're being taken advantage of, hoodwinked. They don't even see it. All of this printing, all of the borrowing, all of the spending has put America on the path for financial suicide. We are destroying our own currency, and the world is watching this. And of course, yes, most of the world is destroying their currency too, but we have the world reserve currency. What do you think when people begin to lose faith in the US dollar? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to be looking for a new money, a new currency. Is that going to be China? I don't know. But it looks to me like we are definitely passing the torch to China. Once the US dollar is no longer the world reserve currency, there will never be any going back to the good old days, according to Michael Snyder. We are so close to an economic end game. And the word collapse is not nearly strong enough to describe what is going to happen to us here. I think that really says a lot right there. This is obviously going to be worse than a collapse. It'll be worse than a depression. It's going to be game changing. I believe that the country is going to be a much, much different place when this happens. And I cannot stress enough the importance that all of you are preparing. It isn't about getting rich quick. It is about survival. It is about being prepared for anything. We're in 2021 now. Anything is possible. A couple articles from The Hedge today. These are really wake-up calls for all of us to see really what is happening all over again here with this economy. The first one's titled, Great Ideas Revisited. Use cash out refis to buy stocks and remodel. Borrowers are tapping back into their homes, using them as ATMs just like they were doing back in 05 and 06. And of course, when prices drop, they're going to be left owing more in these homes than they are worth. And what's interesting is, what are they doing with this money? They're buying stocks. They're remodeling their homes. You talk about risk, you talk about gambling, people pulling money out of their homes to gamble in the stock market, and of course, even to buy cryptocurrencies. When the bubble bursts, they will dismiss it, just like Ben Bernanke did back in 2007, 2008. And that is 100% correct. And when this housing bubble burst, or whatever bubble bursts first, they will dismiss it, act like nothing's even happening. And people will be so far behind when they finally realize what has just happened. Remember, as they always say, it's different this time. I say, yeah, right. Just because the economists keep telling us that housing prices are going to go up forever doesn't mean that housing prices are going to go up forever. What happens when they don't go up? What happens when we see 2007? Remember, back in 2005 and 6 and even 7, they were telling us that housing prices were going to continue to go up. Well, by 2007, they stopped going up. By 2008, we had a financial crisis on our hands. So be prepared. Another article on The Hedge. Cash out home refinancing hit highest level since global financial crisis. Get this, $152.7 billion was cashed out of in-home equity last year in 2020, up 42% from 2019. This is the most since when? Since 2007. Isn't it amazing how history either repeats or rhymes? And to me, reading this is a major, major red flag. This is a canary in the coal mine. This is just, again, we are repeating what we did back in 05 and 06 and 07, except this time it's going to be much, much worse. The money, almost $153 billion was cashed out in home equity last year in 2020, the most since 2007. And where's it going? It's going into the Wall Street casino we call the stock market. It's going into cryptocurrencies, and it's going into remodels. It's also going into off-road vehicles, RVs, toy haulers, boats, etc. People are using their homes as ATMs. They don't think for a minute that they ever have to repay this money back. They think that their homes are going to go up forever, and they are not prepared. These are the people that are going to be wiped out. It's going to be millions of people. Let's not forget that we still have nearly 3 million homes in forbearance. We have 12 million renters in rent moratoriums, and we have people cashing out their homes, using them as ATMs. It's scary. It really is. These people will be the first to be annihilated when this crash occurs. When this housing bubble pops, these people are done. And I would probably gather that a lot of these people owned homes back in 2005, 6, and 7, but they didn't learn their lesson. And a lot of people who own these homes didn't follow history of what happened back in 2008. People are so unprepared. And the sad thing is, they're putting themselves in these vulnerable positions. They're putting themselves in danger. A lot of people don't have to do this, but some do. Many people are pulling money out of their homes to buy toys, to gamble in the stock market, and many are pulling money out of their homes just to survive. They've lost jobs. They've had to cash money out of the homes in order to pay bills, medical expenses, you name it. So they've gotten desperate to tap into their nest egg, where their wealth is, their home. And as soon as this bubble pops, as soon as prices begin to drop, correct, collapse, call it whatever you want, these people are toast. Don't put yourself in vulnerable situations or vulnerable positions like these people are doing. Get your debts under control. Get your debts paid down. Don't expand your debts like these people are doing. This money has to be paid back. And it's never going to get paid back. As soon as this bubble pops, this money's never getting paid back. And guess who's going to come in and scoop up all these houses? It's going to be hedge funds. It's going to be banks. And it's going to be people like you and me. And unfortunately, we're going to capitalize on people who were conditioned, dumbed down, and believed in these pipe dreams that the economists and the business analysts tell them on a daily basis on the television. I'm going to leave it there today. Have a wonderful weekend. Continue your preparations. Get that cash reserve built up. Buy a little gold. Buy some silver. The sales are coming, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be dumbed down people and the gamblers who are going to lose. And unfortunately, we will have to capitalize on their losses. And I'm not going to feel sorry for them. I'm not. Because these are the people that are partying right now, telling us how great it is. They're running the sprint when you should be running a marathon. And these are the people that are going to lose everything. And unfortunately, we will capitalize on their losses. I can't feel sorry for them. I cannot feel sorry for them. These people, and they have no problems bragging, Bitcoin going to $1 million, my $200,000 house in San Bernardino is going to go to $1 million. My stocks are going to go up 100 times because the Fed will just come and be the solution, fix any problems. They're again 100% reliant and invested in the system. The system is melting up, and after it melts up enough, it is going to melt down, and it is going to be the worst economic collapse in world history. You need to pick what side you're going to be in. You're going to be on the losing side or the winning side. The people that are going to lose everything to the banks and the hedge funds, or are you going to think like your own bank? Are you going to think like your own central bank and capitalize on these losses? It is going to be a wealth transfer, the biggest anyone has ever seen. And unfortunately, the masses are going to lose. The few people who thought for themselves, who ran the marathon, who were their own central banks, are going to win, just like many of the central banks are going to do. And it's a sad, ugly interpretation, I guess, of where things are going, but it's reality. And I don't want anybody out there to lose. Most of all, I want you all to survive and prosper. And I truly believe, and I don't give financial advice, but I truly believe that if you're getting your debts managed or paid off, if you're buying assets, if you're putting some cash away and you're getting out of the system, I believe that your chances to survive are much greater than the average American going up or going out buying a pickup truck for $90,000 with 9 years of payments, pulling $100,000 of money out of his or her house to go buy an RV and a boat, or to take a vacation, or to gamble in cryptocurrencies and the stock market. I just cannot feel sorry for these people. God bless every one of you. Have a phenomenal weekend. Talk to all of you very soon.